long. We thought we had room to adapt and change some things to suit our running time for the movie. So it was difficult, but I think from what you guys seem to say, we did a pretty good job.
Jason, this is the second time we've seen you as Batman after Justice League War. How can you compare, or how does it feel like you've progressed in the role from the first time to making this movie?
Can we talk about Talia's cleavage? Because, I mean, for me, it just turned today into a great Friday, you know? I mean, what was in that Lazarus pit? Liquid silicone? I mean, that was a heck of a shot. But as far as the cleavage goes, you know, it was made by trained professionals, and you should not try that at home. No, listen, I had a great time on Justice League War, but it was also quite fraught for me because I was trying to find something that is quite elusive, and I felt under quite a bit of pressure to come up with something iconic, in quotes, and it was sort of, it felt like a hunt, but I was lucky enough to have Andrea Romano to help me hunt down the voice of Batman, and I felt that it was sort of a group effort, and I brought that experience with me to Son of Batman, and I have to say, there were moments when working on this film that I was in severe danger of having a really good time, because you know, there was one moment where I was standing there and I was like, I'm Batman. And who doesn't want to be able to feel that?
And Stuart, Damien, he's a badass. I mean, he's super violent. You're just a kid. Talk about getting into the role of playing someone so dark.
Well, actually, before I did this, I was mainly into lots of comedies, and believe it or not, actually, when I first looked at the role, I actually thought that he was a brat, basically. Yeah, but later on, I looked into the role. I looked him up like on Wikipedia, the internet. I actually read some of the Batman and Son comics, and believe it or not, I actually I went in like, this may seem kind of weird, but I went to the GameStop guys because they know a lot about the DC Comics. Yes, and they told me a lot of things about Damien that I actually never really knew about before. So later on, I later realized that, you know, he's not a brat at all. You know, he's a lone wolf. He likes to do his own thing. He knows how to get what he wants. He's very smart, sophisticated, and also smart alecky, and he has to work on his manners. Yes. Yeah, but he was a great character to play. I loved playing him.
Andrea, what was it like developing the voice and the performance for this character?
For Stuart?
Yeah.
I pretty much just slated and got out of his way. Stuart, when we first met and we did the auditions, I had auditioned a bunch of young actors to play this role. And as you can see from it, it needs to be a character that's so strong-willed, so full of his own ego, but we, the audience, have to like him. And Stuart walked into the audition with his hat and greeted everybody, shook their hands, hello, how are you? Remembered everybody's name in the room, oh, how are you? Nice to see you, nice to meet you, you're good. And then he auditioned and we kind of went, well, okay, we're done. We got the voice, it's done. So he really had the acting together. Whatever research you did ahead of time was exactly what was necessary. But it was a joy to work with these two, and they got to work together, which was lovely. They actually got to work in the room together, which I think shows a bit, where they had an idea of what each other was doing, what their own energy was. But as far as developing the character, he came to me full formed.
Xander, you've done a lot of voiceover animation work, including some other DCU stuff. You're hugely in demand for live action stuff as well. You've got Salem premiering this weekend. What attracted you to this role? Why did you want to do this movie, and what about Langstrom really worked for you?
Well, I have to say Andrea Romano, because she's such a great voice director to work with. It's always a pleasure. And when I get a call for my availability and it's Andrea, I always try to make sure I can be available if I can. And the genre, I mean, come on, it's Batman. Of course you want to do it. Who wouldn't?
Sean, I'm going to pander to the Firefly fans. Because that always works. You're actually one of the last Firefly cast members to do a DCU original movie. So, what took you so long?
I don't know. Andrea? What took me so long? I don't know. I think it's.
What was it about Nightwing? I mean, heard the response that you got when he first appeared on the screen. What was it about Nightwing that you wanted to do this?
You know, I would like to second what Xander said, and it was more Andrea had come to me with, before you even told me what it was, you said, I have a great role for you, are you available? And I said, yeah, of course. And then I showed up, and there it was, and we actually just had a picture. I asked for a picture of him. So I had a picture right there on the stand when we were voicing it. So it's really just, you know, the world of Batman. Why not? and Talia's cleavage.
Yeah.
Whichever, I don't know if everyone knows, Miranda got so sunburned on her cleavage while shooting Serenity, because we were up in the desert, and it was like she was the butt of jokes forever, because her cleavage was so badly burned. So when I watch the movie, all I think is burnt cleavage when I see Talia's cleavage.
Jason and Stuart, Andrea mentioned that you guys got to work together on this. That doesn't always happen in animation projects. So talk about the dynamic, so to speak, in the booth working together on this.
I actually, I think it was one of the first takes we did. I wanted to really scare Stuart because I felt like Damien needed a bit of a kick in the butt, you know, because he was getting away with the run of himself, you know. He needed to be reined in. So I think there was one take where I kind of really snarled at you and took you a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, I think I choked or something.
Yeah. You were a child! And it was just nice because you know, we were trying to get to a point where Batman is asserting himself as a father and Damien's kicking back, and that's an age-old story of father and son, goes back forever, you know. So there is something universal about it that we were able to try to encapsulate. Working together really helped with that. Stuart?
Yeah. It was very interesting working with you. It was, I really liked, you know, your take of Batman. It was very interesting, very different. And as you said before, you did scare me a little. Yeah, but it was very fun. It was very fun, you know, working with you on that. Yeah, especially that scene. It was very interesting, very fun. Yeah.
Phil, you've done a lot of these movies. Your work on Young Justice was fantastic. And the stuff on here it keeps getting better and better. We had a few new characters in here. Damien, first and foremost, a gorilla bat. Talk about what was your favorite part of this project?
Oh man, I guess just the fact that I got to do it finally. I mean, for the last 5 years or something, it's been Justice League, you know, in some form or another. I've been working on the team show, so it's this huge ensemble, which is amazing. I mean, I love working on those characters. That legacy is incredible, but I think it's a milestone in any artist's career when they get to do Batman. I mean, that world is so rich, and every artist, every professional artist, every artist that's working has a take on Batman, you know, and so it's like this momentous milestone to get to work in that world, and I think just the opportunity, like finally, like I get to focus on this specific part of the DC mythos. That was just, you know, I was just beside myself, you know. It was just really exciting for me just to dig into that rich world. But as far as this film, I mean, I loved the opportunity to design Damien, obviously for the first time. He's never been on screen before, so that was, a really great opportunity. I think any day you get to go to work and draw Batman, period, is just a good day. You can't really complain about that. But I had a lot of fun drawing Talia. I mean, we've already my wife's in the audience, so.
I think Talia's cleavage is trending on Twitter right now.
So that's great. But just the chance to work on those characters specifically was a thrill.
Okay, in a couple of minutes we're going to open up to fan questions. I believe there's a microphone somewhere. And, okay, we'll get to you in 1 minute. I just had, Ethan, I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Okay.
So, the scene where Nightwing and Damien battle, which we don't see in the movie, but we see in the credits, breakdown of that. Okay, so Damien takes out Slater, Deathstroke, pretty much. Takes on all those ninjas, holds his own against Batman. And no offense, Sean, but Nightwing's the one who can take him down?
He's the only one that can take it down. So. But there's a funny story behind that. We boarded that, and we realized we didn't have that fight. And James was like, fans are going to be pissed. They want to see Nightwing fight. And so we gave a little gift to you guys at the end. The end credits, we kind of did stills that showed what that fight was like.
It's a nice extra.
So.
Was that just for space, for time?
I think we always like to do something special at the end.
Yeah, we wanted to add something to all of these new continuity movies. Just add a little spice to them. Sometimes it'll be in the form of a little teaser for the next movie. Sometimes it's just, okay, we didn't have time to show this in the movie, but we didn't forget about you. So you get to see the Damien Nightwing fight in the credits. So.
And if you want to see it again, the DVD and Blu-ray goes on sale on Tuesday, May 6th. It's also going to be available digital HD starting this coming Tuesday, the 22nd. So we have prizes for some of the people who asked questions. They're signed posters of the movie, signed by everyone here on the panel. So it's when you ask your question, say your name, and then at the end, I'll call out the people, the winners, and you can come over here, and we'll take care of you. And four we have. So first, what's your name, and ask away.
My name is Umberto. And if any of you guys from the cast could walk the floor, who would you dress up as? Thank you.
Thanks.
Is it for all of us? Is it for all of us?
Yeah.
What? Boba Fett. All of us?
Well, anyone that wants to answer, who would you dress up as?
Okay, if I had to choose anyone, well, I guess maybe I would have one for DC and for Marvel. For DC, definitely Green Lantern, I would probably say. Green Lantern's pretty cool if I can say so myself. And then, I guess for Marvel, I would maybe have to choose Iron Man, I guess.
Anyone else?
Shelley Winters.
Buddy Hackett. Nice.
Oh, Batman.
What do I do? What are you doing here?
Batman, what's your name?
Ask you a question. I ask the questions. You're not even ask. We can't hear you. Sorry. Is that better?
That's a bit better. I think you got to pitch up on there, buddy.
Thank you. My question is, my name's John.
Where is
and Miss Andrea Romano, thank you for the amazing childhood. My question is, throughout the whole last ending scene, the fighting scene, where was Aquaman during this thing?
I'm not exactly sure where Aquaman was. I mean, maybe, jumping around somewhere in the tubes. Maybe he was behind the cracking of the ocean. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Thank you.
Oh, am I ready?
Yep.
Oh,
Speak into the mic.
oh, cool, yeah. So my name is William/Joel from The Last of Us, and I was just wondering to whomever this may concern to up in the panel, so what part from the movie that you wanted to be put in the film, but was just too difficult for it to adapt?
You mean
And,
one part from the comic book, right?
Sure, yeah, that question.
Well, like I said, we didn't have 20 hours to tell the complete comic book story, so we had to pick and choose. So, I know what's his name? Guy with the eye patch. Deathstroke. It's been a long day. He was in the art. He was in the part of the Damien thing. We had Man-Bats. There were certain iconic things from the overall art that we wanted to touch on. And we're not done yet, so.
And there is something, actually, we might have forgotten, that we did have a scene that was on the cutting room floor with Langstrom.
Oh, yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, I don't want to. Well, he was, yeah.
If you don't want to mention it.
Yeah, we might use that later.
Oh.
Never mind. You didn't hear that.
Thank you. Next.
Hi there. My name's Don Castillo. This is for the entire panel. At what moment of production did you find most challenging, or just ended up being your most proudest moment? Like you were like, oh, I really nailed that.
I can address the challenging part of it. There's always an issue about not being able to record actors together in the same room. We did have an instance where they could be together, but very few other actors recorded together. So that's always a challenge. But for this film in particular, because there is so much fighting and there is so much violence, the ADR on this, the stuff that we do to picture at the end, was extremely difficult. And I remember several instances where I actually, when we record, the actors are in one room, I'm in another, we're separated by a pane of glass. But there were a few times when I felt I needed to go in and be in the room with the actors. For example, when Stuart has a scene where he has to pull his shoulder through the hilt of the sword at the end there, you know what I'm talking about? Where I had to actually stand with him because he would go, I'd say, okay, Stuart, it's the sound, the pain sound of as you come through, and Stuart would go, now it's gotta be, and so I had to stand with him and just keep forcing without ripping his throat out. And the odd thing was, I had to do the same thing with Morena when she had the scene when she comes up from the Lazarus pit. There's that crazy Lazarus pit thing, It rejuvenates you, but it makes you crazy for, an hour or so. So everybody who comes up out of it has to do intense screaming. And so for her as well, I had to go into the studio with her. So those things were really hard because they're trying on the actors' throats. And I never ask an actor to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. So for hours and takes and takes and takes for actor after actor after actor, I had to do a lot of that stuff. So for me, that was really challenging.
It wasn't when you got to play the Wayne Corp Argentina
I screwed up with
executive?
Argentina. I screwed up with Argentina. That was my role. Did you guys recognize my voice in there? Argentina's my, what's the line? Argentina's my division. Bruce, that's me. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Next.
Hi, my name is Corey, and first and foremost, James and Andrea, thank you very much for bringing a movie here to take time out of your personal time. I've always been a fan of your animated movies.
No problem. We're actually still on the clock. This is work.
Okay. always been a fan of
No
DC
holiday
animated.
for us.
I've always been a fan of the DC animated movies, just to prove my point. So my old ones here, but to be honest with you, at this point, I'm a little Batman fatigued, man. I mean, do you even like any of the DC characters? I'm sorry for repeating the question, but I mean,
Guess who doesn't win anything?
that's okay. It's not just the animated department, but it seems like this mentality across Warner Brothers, like if Batman can't do it, it can't be done. And it's like Marvel seems to believe in all their characters, but you guys are like stuck in.
Well, thanks, but I don't think they need to answer that. But what would be one character you would want to see?
Quite a few. I mean, Aquaman, Hawkman, Hawkwoman. I mean, the Atom. It's the DC universe. There's a lot of great characters.
All right, well, your comments have been registered.
So I guess you didn't watch Brave and the Bold, huh? Watch it.
Okay, next.
That was awkward.
Yeah, so I'm going to modify my question a little bit.
Your name first?
My name is Vance. Nice to meet you. I just want to say that was awesome, and I can't wait to pick it up. So, if you could make a movie about, this is for all the panel, or if you would like to see a character of anyone in the DC universe that maybe hasn't been brought to life on the screen yet, who would it be? Hero or villain?
I'll start. Spectre.
Anyone else?
I've always wanted to do a take on Kirby's Fourth World characters. They're lesser known, but I think they're a really amazing part of the DC lore, and we could do some amazing stuff with them.
Next.
My name is Zach.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Zach, V-A, whatever.
That's very interesting.
That's amazing. Can you spell the whole thing, please?
No. The decision was made recently to make the DC movies, the animated ones, in continuity with each other. And I was curious as to whether that was a response to the failure of Cartoon Network really to continue broadcasting the TV cartoons that you make.
No.
Okay, say your name.
Hi, my name is Neil.
Oh, I like that.
James, we met at the signing today, and we met at the Justice League War LA signing. My question is, in the story, Tim Drake is used. So was Nightwing used instead of Tim to establish that Dick was the only Robin?
For our continuity, unless we figure out something different, yeah, you got it. I love Tim Drake, but, he doesn't work in every situation. It's just, normal people have to understand this too. Not to say we're not normal, but we're not normal.
I know, it's so funny.
Next.
Hello, my name is Jonathan. So, thank you to the panel for being here. But my question with respect is to Jason O'Mara. I grew up watching the animated series, and I can only remember Kevin Conroy for that voice. When I saw Justice League War and this movie today, for some reason, I just said, Kevin who, which I'm probably gonna get a lot of backlash for, but am I looking at the next Kevin Conroy in you?
Wow, that's a you won't be getting any backlash from me. Thank you very much for the compliment. I really appreciate that. They're big boots to fill.
Jason, once stepping into such an iconic role where so many people in animation and live action have played this character, I mean, did you tune all that out? I mean, it's everywhere, so it's not like you can ignore it, but how did you clear it so that you could have your own take on this role?
Well, it is everywhere. I mean, Batman is 75 years old this year, which I think deserves a round of applause. And because of that, there have been so many iconic performances by such great actors that it's kind of like, walking through a dog run and not stepping in duty. There's so many performances that I didn't want to reproduce. I mean, it probably happened subconsciously, but I was trying to avoid previous versions of Batman. So all I really wanted to do was tune all that out, yes. That's no good as an actor about to give a performance. All you can think of is how to truthfully play this character in the moment. Anything before and after has no bearing on what you're about to do. So I had to tune all of that out. I had to rely on Andrea to be my sort of ears and just try to create something as unique and authentic as I could.
I want to add something to that. If you remember when we first did the war film, the voice was different.
Yeah,
when we first started working on it, we had established a voice and we got it, and it was a lot more texture, as I recall.
Yeah.
And then we saw it before we did the ADR, and went, we can alter this. And so that voice actually did grow and evolve to become the voice it is. And I have to say, watching it tonight, because I saw the film for the first time completely put together tonight with you guys, and I was so impressed with everybody in the cast. I thought it was a very, very strong cast. But I have to say that your voice has evolved over the two films, and it only keeps getting better, more mature, more confident, more Batman every time.
Yeah, thanks.
Really nice work.
Next.
Hi, my name's Laura. Like the guy did way before, I'd like to thank Andrea for my childhood as well. Last year, DC released a documentary on villains. So I was wondering, for upcoming projects, are you guys gonna create any movies in the point of view of the villains, like say the Suicide Squad? Maybe. I love the stuff that you guys are out there so far. I mean, I have most of them, to Wonder Woman to, sorry.
Could we see a villain starring movie?
Yeah, sure. Now, yes.
Next.
Hi, my name is Ben. My question today is, are you guys gonna make any more movies with Son of Batman, or even Deathstroke, bring back from the dead? Because he died in Lazarus. Yeah, and is Damien ever gonna drive?
Nobody ever really dies all the way in this. How many times did we kill the Joker and he always came back? So there's never a guarantee that they're gone forever. I think characters can always come back.
No, but seriously, are we doing more Son of Batman?
Next.
Hi everybody, my name's Art, and Andrea, you are a goddess. Jason, you are God. Stuart, but anyway, I have 2 questions. Stuart, was it at all difficult to do this new take on Robin? Did you at all feel pressure? And my second question, Phil, Young Justice Season 3.
Yeah.
When I was doing this character, yeah, I mean, I felt a little pressure because, after all, this is the first time Damien's going on the big screen. And also, because, you're kind of starting a legacy here, it's the first time he's coming up. There might be more. You don't know, but it'll be. It's the first time he's going on. It'll be pretty big. So I felt a little pressured, but I'm the kind of guy. You got to go with the flow. So yeah, but I'm not too relaxed. I still take things seriously, but if you take things too seriously, obviously you're going to screw up eventually. Yeah, but so I was a little nervous about this, but I think I did the character great. What do you guys think?
It was a pleasure to turn and look at his face while the film was running. There was this sweet smile. Just watching the whole film, like, this is really cool. It was very sweet to look at his face.
Next.
And what about Phil?
Yeah, my name is Frankie, and I just want to say thank you first for the 20 films you guys have done. DC, each film seems to get better and better. This one's great. I noticed it's kind of a trend. Last year, or the year before, we had The Dark Knight Returns. And this year, we have Son of Batman, which is actually a spawn from Son of the Demon. Can we expect to see any more animated films from the classic books? Maybe Killing Joke, King Kong, The Nail, some of the classic DC books. Can we expect to see them in films sometime? And thanks, guys. I love it.
Well, we announced that of the 3 movies we do per year, 2 will be in continuity with each other, and then the 3rd one will be a one-off. So, yes, it's always possible. To be announced at a later date.
Robin, which Robin are you?
Dick Grayson. I just wanted to know, are we ever going to see Tim Drake?
Maybe. I'll say maybe, because I don't want to sound like a jerk.
It's nothing personal.
Nothing personal. I love Tim Drake.
Next.
Hi, my name is Bert. First of all, I want to say I don't care who disagrees with me. I think Damian Stroke was awesome. Ever since I saw Slade in the Teen Titans, I've always wanted to see him get beaten in a fight. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, first off, why was Slade wearing his orange and black mask before he lost his eye? And why was Dick's relationship with Damian similar to his relationship with Tim in the comics rather than his relationship with Dick in the comics?
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Why was he wearing that?
I don't see why he wouldn't have had the mask. I mean, we never see it pulled down, so we would just assume that there was an eye on it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think we thought to incorporate that color scheme in his first see him wearing.
I mean, that was already his look, right? So he
carried it over.
There was an eye on there. You guys just didn't see it. He had both eyes.
And he's not here, but Thomas Gibson did an amazing job in that role, and also not here. And it was a short bit in the beginning, but Giancarlo Esposito as Ra's al Ghul scared the you-know-what out of me. So great cast all around, not just these guys here, but fantastic job casting as always.
David McCallum is Alfred.
Yes, David McCallum is Alfred, Marina Baccarin as Talia. Just great stuff all around. You guys always put together amazing talent. And not just their names, but what they do on screen. Next.
First of all, James, I want to say thank you. Every DC movie is much appreciated. Every time I get to share with my nieces, my nephews, it's phenomenal. And whatever it takes to have you guys keep bringing more, I hope you guys do it. As many DC characters as you want to bring, we'll be there to watch it. We'll try. The other try. As far as the questions go, what would it take for you guys to bring some old school characters, live action actors like Adam West, Linda Carter, some of the film Batmans, just as an appearance in your animated features? It would be pretty cool, it seems, to have them voice that. And Andrea Romano, what you do with your talent is phenomenal. Their performances are beyond par. Do you do casting workshops to train actors?
I used to teach classes quite a bit, and I love doing it. I just don't have time now to do it, but I'm hoping to bring that back in. We did use Adam West in the original Batman the Animated Series. He was the Grey Ghost.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And we certainly have gone out to some of those other actors that you're talking about, and we want them to come and play. And sometimes they're just not available, or sometimes they're just not interested, or they're retired and they're not working anymore. But we certainly go out to all those kinds of actors because I think that is interesting casting, and there is some value to that, bringing them back in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. And one last quick thing. Wonder Woman, James, please explain to your artist that she's a beautiful goddess, and if they could stop drawing her like she's taking testosterone, be awesome.
I don't think we've drawn a Wonder Woman like that lately.
Next.
I'm Maya, and this question is mainly for the voice actors, but everyone on the panel. What's your favorite line from the movie? Mine is, "Can I drive?"
That is one of my favorites too, but I guess one of my favorites is, over at, when he gets in, Bruce's headquarters, a bird's nest has better security.
Oh.
It's just, it makes him seem so smart, it's so funny.
I'm gonna cut in line here. Mine is definitely leave, harlots.
That was great.
I wish I could remember it exactly, but Alfred says something about Damien is doing something, I miss him already. That was one of my favorites.
Sean, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, my favorite line is the line that parents, it's a one-word line, it's a line that parents have to say over and over every day to their children, probably till the day they die, which is just no. My man has to say that quite a bit.
Sean, Xander?
Mine was leave, harlots.
That's why I cut.
And no.
I like all those lines. I'm with the car. I agree with you.
Next.
Hi, I am Steven. I have one suggestion and one question. Mark Hamill has gone on record saying that he'll volunteer to do the Killing Joke. You have the Joker. You know we like him. He's willing to do it. It'll print money. Please make it.
Every time
And you guys can help me settle a friendly issue between a friend of mine. Who do you guys think would really win in a fight? Batman or Deathstroke, and why?
Batman.
Yeah,
Because he's Batman.
I thought he was going to say Batman or the Hulk or something. Batman, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Robin beat Batman, or beat Deathstroke, so I think Batman's got that.
All right, we only have a few more minutes left, so let's keep them coming.
Hey panel, my name is Dan. Great work, thanks, big fan. Phil, you're absolutely right. Every time you get to show up to work and draw Batman, it's absolutely a good day. I was about Stewart's age when I first saw Deathstroke, and at that time he wasn't famous. He was like the DC version of Punisher, and he wasn't really that big a deal. Now he's everywhere, and it makes me want to ask you, I mean, he's the bad guy in video games, in multiple TV shows, he's all over the place. Do you guys have to get together and say, okay, listen, we're doing a movie with Deathstroke, you can't use him for a while. Or no, we're doing a TV show with Deathstroke, Deathstroke's ours. And is there ever any like fighting over who gets to use Deathstroke next, because he's everyone's favorite right now?
No, we can, I mean, the great thing about Warner's is each division gets to do its own thing for the most part. And, you know, I didn't know he was going to be on Arrow because I hadn't watched the first season yet. So, so imagine my surprise. But, you know, he's a great character, and, you know, if they use him in a certain way, we use him in another way, it's all good. So no one tells us not to.
Next.
Hi, my name is Reese, and I was wondering if you guys were going to make another movie with Damien in it, and if so, if it was going to be based on the books, and what comic book should I read?
All of them. He's on the cover reading.
You know, we're not trying to be glib when we just answer in sort of one-word answers. We can't talk about some of the films that are coming up because they've yet to be announced, and so just think of it as something to really look forward to. Everything we're doing, we're trying to bring the same quality to, but we can't tell you if we're doing a certain film until it's announced, so we're not trying to be smart about it.
Yes. Aww.
Which Robin are you?
Thanks.
Jake also, I guess.
Thanks.
My name's Hector. My question is for Jason. You did Justice League War and Son of Batman. Do you prefer doing these like kind of solo movies over having a big, you know, superpowered cast around you? Do you think like they might overshadow you a bit? Not, I mean, you're Batman, not that much, but
No one overshadows Batman.
yeah.
What I found interesting about this this film was that, you know, Batman seems to start these films with wanting to work alone. You know, he's happy just himself, nobody else. And Justice League War, obviously, he ends up being the de facto leader of the Justice League and has to bring all of his leadership qualities to bear. And the same thing happens in Son of Batman, effectively. That he's quite happy working alone, and he finds out that out of the blue he has this son and has to suddenly become a father and bring all of those qualities to bear. So I think it's always interesting when Batman his lone wolf kind of status is challenged and he's forced to work with others. I think they're the best Batman stories.
Thanks. Next.
Hi, my name is Brian. My question's for Andrea. Again, thanks, great childhood. Everyone said you call, they drop everything, they work with you. How do you pick who you want to work for what project, I guess?
I don't make that decision myself. I suggest people, and I've worked with enough people over the years that I have a pretty good Rolodex, if you will. Do you know what a Rolodex is? And so we sit together in creative meetings and say, how about, you know, here are 5 different actors that could do a really good job as this character. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Or every once in a while there's an instance where someone like Sean, I had wanted to work with him for a long time. I just had to find the right role for him. And when this piece came up, I went, ooh, that'll be a really good role for him. And it was his first animated film. Do you guys know that? Wasn't he very good for his very first film? I have only one cast member from Firefly I haven't hired yet. Jewel. I'm not done yet.
Oh, yeah.
But so we actually make those decisions as a group. I just submit a bunch of different ideas. And I work with a lot of other casting directors when I'm too busy to do it entirely myself. So Meredith Lane is a very talented casting director who also helps me do a lot of the work.
Okay, our last question.
Hi, my name is Kendall. With all these new movies coming out, is there any possible chance we'll see a version of the Judas Contract?
I'll say we're interested, very interested in the Teen Titans right now.
That's a good answer. All right. Batman, John, the first person, Laura, Ben, and Maya come up here afterwards and we'll get you sorted with your prizes. Thank you everyone for coming out, sticking around and being such an enthusiastic audience.
Rich, could I just give a quick shout out to my son who's here tonight. He's 10 years old. It's his first con. His name's David. There he is right there. For the Batman t-shirt. And Stuart Allen is the son of Batman, but for tonight he is the son of the Batman in Son of Batman.
So awesome.
Okay, 4 winners to the right side of the stage here. Son of Batman, available on Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday, May 6th, and on digital HD starting this Tuesday, April 22nd. So pick up a copy and tell your friends. Thanks again. And thanks to everyone on this panel.
Check out
Sean Long,
Jason David Frank, Tommy the Green Ranger.